According to Ray Buckland in his book The Spirit Book, the idea of book tests was started by Sir William Crookes when he tried to devise a way of ensuring that a medium working with a planchette was not picking up any information through extrasensory perception. Crookes asked the spirit if he could see the contents of the room, and, on getting an affirmative answer, he reached back to the table behind him and picked up a copy of the Times that was lying there. Without looking, he placed a finger haphazardly on the open page. He then asked the spirit to give the word that was covered by his finger. In this instance, the spirit spelled out, however. Crookes found it to be the correct word. This result was published in the Quarterly Journal of Science for January 1874. In some book tests, the spirit communicates through the medium to give correct quotes from a book placed in a locked box, a book selected haphazardly by a bookseller and wrapped with others, and from a book sealed and given to a third party. Usually, the book selected is one that the spirit knew and enjoyed when alive. The spirit is asked to give the passage from a particularly randomly selected page and paragraph of the book, found on a particular shelf of a bookcase in the home of the sitter at the seance. Mediums through whom the spirits were particularly accurate included William Stainton Moses and William Eglinton. In the mediumship of Mrs. Leonard, Susie Smith states that book tests came to be used extensively by Fida and Mrs. Leonard's other communicators, who in fact said to have originated it, in contradiction to Ray Buckland's previously shown account. Regardless, Henry Sedgwick, in An Examination of Book Tests Obtained in Sittings with Mrs. Leonard, published in Proceedings of the Society for Psychical Research, Spring Volume 31, April 1921, wrote that a good book test would exclude ordinary telepathy from the sitter as an explanation and would make it extremely difficult to suppose that Fida, Mrs. Leonard's main control, derives her information from any living being. An excellent example of a simple Leonard book test is described in The Earthen Vessel by Pamela Glenconner. Edward Wyndham Tennant, known as Bim, a son of Lord and Lady Glenconner, who fell in the Battle of the Somme, is the purporting communicator. At a Leonard sitting on 17 December 1917, Bim's brother David Tennant and his father were the sitters. In the years before the war, Lord Glenconner's chief interest was forestry. Often in the course of family walks through the woods, he would gloomily say that the trees were being ruined by the beetle. Young Bim sometimes whispered to his mother at the start of the family walk, "See if we can get through the wood without hearing about the beetle." Fida, Mrs. Leonard's control, gave a book test which she said was from Bim. "This book is particularly for his father," she said. "Underline that," he says. "It is the 9th book on the 3rd shelf, counting from left to right in the bookcase to the right of the door in the drawing room. Take the title and turn to page 37. When the father and son returned home and went to their bookshelf, they found that the 9th book on the 3rd shelf was Trees by T.H. Kelman. On page 36, it read, quite at the bottom and running over to page 37, "Sometimes you will see curious marks in the wood. These are caused by a tunneling beetle, very injurious to trees." Needless to say, Mrs. Leonard had never been in the Glenconner drawing room.